I reckon a lot of folks have probably seen that classic American TV show called Prison Break. Today we're gonna talk about a real-life event, the escape from Devil's Island, hands down the most famous prison break in US history. So where's Devil's Island at? It's this notorious American prison sitting on a tiny island in San Francisco Bay, California. That little island's called Alcatraz, and it's only about 0.08 square kilometers. It's surrounded by steep cliffs, no sandy beaches anywhere, and the water around it's crazy deep, about 1.5 miles from the nearest shore. Makes it a perfect spot for a prison, like dropping a big OL rock in the middle of the ocean and building a jail on it. That's why they also call it the Giant Rock Island. Originally this place was a military base, but back in 1906 San Francisco got hit with a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Tons of buildings collapsed and the city's prison caught fire, so they had to start moving inmates out of there. Problem was, outside was pure chaos, and a bunch of these prisoners were serious bad guys. You couldn't just stash them anywhere. So they hustled 176 of them up to the island real quick. That way they'd be safe and couldn't hightail it out of there. After that whole mess they realized this island was just too perfect for a prison. So in 1912 the US federal government built a huge prison on it. Then come the 1930s, with the Great Depression hitting the US hard, you had all these armed criminals popping up everywhere, violent organized types. So they started sending the big shots of these crime outfits to this island. Like the infamous American gangster Al Capone, the guy who founded the Chicago crime syndicate. Stick him on this island and ain't no way his boys could boat in to save him. So this place was packed with mob bosses. And who else got sent there? The pros at breaking out guys regular prisons couldn't hold. They'd lock em up and they'd just bounce over and over, so they shipped M to the island. Kinda like Michael Scofield from Prison Break.
But here's the kicker: since it opened, over 30 guys tried to break out. Out of those, 23 got nabbed again, 6 got shot dead, 2 drowned. But back in 1962, 3 dudes made it out. Truth is, 4 guys tried to bounce that time, but 1 got caught. June 12, 1961, they started planning their big escape. The ringleader, Frank Morris, oldest of the bunch and the sharpest with that sky-high IQ. First off, they spent 6 months gathering stuff inside the prison: glue, spoons, soap, toothpaste, toilet paper, hair towels, raincoats, a vacuum cleaner. Sounds random, right? Hang on, I'll tell ya, it all mattered big time. They started by stealing over 50 raincoats from the prison bit by bit. Cut em up and turned em into a rubber raft, gluing the pieces together. Not just with glue, they heated em up to melt in the raincoats so they'd stick tight. But a raft that big? Blowing it up would take hours, no way that'd work. Turns out they used the bellows from an accordion to inflate it. They could get instruments if they played nice. And Frank, he was golden, asked for an accordion, saying it was for music, but really it was to pump up the raft. How'd they even figure out raincoats could make a raft? So they used raincoat scraps to make 4 life vests plus waterproof bags for their personal stuff. Then they scrounged up wood bits to carve paddles. But how do you get from a cell to the sea? Gotta dig a hole. They nabbed little metal spoons from the kitchen, but spoons alone ain't cutting through concrete walls. So they swiped a vacuum cleaner motor, hooked the spoon to it, wired it to the cell's power. Bam, homemade drill. Couldn't just drill anywhere though. Under the sink there's a vent.